Boise, Idaho, the setting for this afternoon's Mountain West Conference non-conference women's basketball action as the Broncos of Boise State host the Lancers from California Baptist University. Good afternoon and welcome inside ExtraMile Arena on the Boise State campus. I'm Mark Snyder with my broadcast partner, longtime Boise High School coach and outstanding Boise State athletes, Kim Bridges. Well, Kim, an outstanding matchup for us this afternoon. Both teams playing strong in the non-conference season as the Broncos come in at 7-1, California Baptist at 6-2. And if you look at the numbers, Boise State leads the Mountain West in scoring, but California Baptist not too far behind.
No, CBU is known for getting up and down the floor. In fact, they take over 30 three-pointers a game, so they're excited to get running and gunning quickly against the Broncos.
This is the first ever matchup between these two teams, and the first time we will see the Lancers and their 6'3" senior, Emma Johansson, averaging 11.5 points a game, almost 10 rebounds a game, coming off a 21-point effort in a loss the other night against Pepperdine.
Exactly, and that 21-point effort was her career high. Johansson's going to be a tough matchup for the Broncos with them starting a little bit smaller with Thompson and Hutton. She is a 6'3" senior lefty from South Florida last 2 years, and then she's originally from Sweden, so they're looking to get going with her early.
Of course, leading the way for Boise State is their senior, Tatum Thompson. Tatum, the Broncos' leading scorer and the most valuable player, as Boise State won their part of the Paradise Jam over Thanksgiving in the Virgin Islands. This senior really makes things go.
Tatum is such a difficult matchup for teams. I mean, she right now is playing like the senior that she is. You love to see a kid when they get to the end of their college playing career playing at their best potential. She's third in the Mountain West in scoring, fifth in the Mountain West in rebounds, and hoping for another great effort today.
The Broncos and the Lancers, as I mentioned, never played each other. Both teams in their final years of their current conferences, as California Baptist will be leaving the WAC after this year, and of course Boise State headed to the Pac-12. But that's next year. Today, it's the Lancers and the Broncos coming up next. Broncos and Lancers have been introduced to the crowd here at ExtraMile Arena, and let's meet the starting lineup. Boise State, there you see Tatum Thompson, the Broncos' leading scorer at 16.3 points a game. She's joined by seniors Danny Bays at 15.3, Natalie Pasco at 14.3 points a game. Maya Hansen after a great season all around, averaging 8 points a game and 5 assists, leading the conference. And Libby Hutton, a senior-laden team for this Boise State squad. Head coach Gordy Presnell in his 21st year for the Broncos. On the other side, California Baptist, a change to their starting lineup that they played against Pepperdine the other night. It'll be Philippa Barros, Chance Bucher, there we go, get it right, Lauren Olson, Emma Johansson, and the local product, Cece Legaspi, somebody, Kim, you know very well. She played her high school ball at Rocky Mountain High School Meridian, and certainly you know Cece's game very strong.
Definitely do, and I'm sure she's very excited to get the start here against the Broncos. I believe I see a big Rocky Mountain contingent up there in the stands right behind their bench.
That's right, the Rocky Mountain Grizzlies out in force. Our officials this afternoon, the referees Ashley Ellis, Kevin Kaziski, and Carly Childs are our umpires. And we're about set to go. Boise State in their gray uniforms today with the orange trim. California Baptist in their road darks with white numbers and white trim. It'll be Johansson to jump center against Libby Hutton, the only non-senior in the Boise State starting lineup. And it's Maya Hansen out of Montana. Thompson to Bays. Bays was on the all-tournament team down in the Virgin Islands as well, as Hutton goes baseline. Muscles it up, can't get it to drop, and it's out of bounds to the Broncos.
That's a fortunate bounce there for the Broncos to retain that possession. Johansson just pointed out how long she can be on defense.
Taking it right at the 6'3" Swede. Corner jumper is blocked. Blocking it is Olsen, and then they're going to give the ball to California Baptist after a foul called against Boise State.
That's a tough break for Maya. She was just trying to chase down that tip ball that she took from the corner. Just unfortunate.
So now we will see California Baptist's run and gun offense. Legaspi over to Barros from the top. Bucher, no. Rebound saved by Johansson for the three-pointer by Legaspi, which is good.
Local product making good. She has not been shooting real hot from three coming into this game, but again, can't underestimate how important it is to play well against your home crowd.
Danny Bays kicks it on top to Hansen. Pasco. Hutton back to Pasco. 10 on the shot clock. Give and go. Pasco underneath. That's Hutton, rather, and she draws the foul. Boise State not afraid, though, to take it right into the paint.
And that's important because Johansson has had some plaguing problems with being in foul trouble. And they're lost against Pepperdine, excuse me. They're lost against Pepperdine. She picked up 3 fouls in the first half. And so she was really hampered. 2 of their other key players also had 3 fouls. And I think that really hindered their success against the Waves.
First one good for Libby Hutton, the sophomore from Perth. Unlike years past, this Boise State team does not have a lot of height. So as you said in the pregame, starting Hutton and Thompson up front. But the days of having that big presence in the middle is not there right now. But Emily Howard, the 6'5" redshirt junior transfer from Liberty, may see some time today as Hutton hits them both.
I expect Howard will definitely come in and make an impact. She is now unrestricted in terms of coming back after that injury last year. So hopefully we can match some size with size at some point.
Olsen outside gets a screen from Johansson. Drives in the paint, spins up with the left hand. It's an air ball. The rebound off Johansson. It's loose. They tie up, and the jump ball favors the Lancers. So California Baptist retains possession.
Love both players getting on the floor. You got a senior, and then in Bucher, you got a grad senior getting after it early.
That was the case of Danny Bays trying to guard the 6'3" Johansson. The ball rolls through the paint, and that will be a shot clock violation as Boise State forces the turnover.
Nicely done, Broncos. That was a gritty effort for them on defense, so hopefully we can get some more points going in their direction. CBU is really known for poking at the ball. Felipa Barros, for example, she is just a tough defender. And so expect a lot of ball pressure. There you go. There's that jab I just talked about.
Thompson retains, gets it on top to Hutton. Quick fire for Pasco is good for 3.
That's a great look by Pasco. She has such a quick release. She does not take very much time to set it up. In fact, I think she missed a couple shots in the Paradise Jam that she normally would not because she had too much time to actually get ready for the shot.
Barros drives on Hutton, who forces the pass off, and it's stolen by Boise State. This is Danny Bays. Pasco back to Hutton, takes the bump and hits the basket. They're going to call it for traveling instead.
That's tough, catching the ball across the middle like that with traffic coming at you. Unfortunate for Libby. That was a good finish by her.
Watch this again. I think the bump caused the travel.
I would agree with you on that replay. I would absolutely agree with you.
Olsen, quick fire for 3. That's too strong. The rebound, though, bounces off some hands, and it's picked up by Johansson. And a reset for the Lancers. That 3 balls off the mark. And Hutton with the rebound.
We talked about their threes in the pregame. They are literally taking over 33-point shots a game. So I know they're averaging 70 points on each night. Their 2 losses, they scored well below that, but that was largely due to some poor 3-point shooting.
Pasco catch fire, too strong.
Again, too much time.
Bucher runs it down. Ahead to Legaspi. On the drive, it's Barros. Corner 3. Rattles out.
Those long shots equate long rebounds, and that's one of the hardest things I think to get players to understand is you really have to be disciplined in your box out. So a couple offensive boards for CBU early.
Rattles out for the Broncos. Tough break. Good looking shot. Quickly the other way. Bucher for 3.
One of them is bound to go in. Sure enough, that's their second one on the night. I believe that's 6 3-pointers taken already for CBU in the first quarter.
Underneath, and Thompson is fouled on a nice entry pass from the wing by Danny Bays. We look at the keys to this game. California Baptist wants to run Boise State off the three-point line and for the bench. And Boise State, fast start and dominate the paint, which is easier said than done against a tall team. Broncos on the inbound. It's Hansen. Back to Thompson. Tatum baseline. Good move and scores.
Great finish by Tatum inside. She does such a great job to weasel her body in there, contort it, if you will, and find a way to finish. I think sometimes she finishes even better through contact than she does when she's by herself.
Olsen outside on top to Barros. The rainbow curls in on the floater for Olsen.
Olsen is tough. She is a 5'8" true freshman out of Douglas, Wyoming. She is shooting 45% from three. So look to her to be a big scoring presence for them.
Pasco buries her second triple.
Speaking of scoring presence, on cue. Well done, Natalie, with that hit.
The Broncos regain the lead. The drive, no. Rebound of Boise State, Tatum Thompson. The drive, Danny Bays stops. Out to Thompson. Back to Bays. Defense gets set as Thompson spins, fires, hits.
That's a great job by Tatum, making eye contact with Danny and saying, hey, I have somebody I'm ready to score on the block. So she felt confident, called for the ball, and got a good finish.
Thompson, that was a really sophisticated but subtle move, the way she reset. And there's an offensive foul called against California Baptist, but really a mature move she made down low for Tatum Thompson.
Tatum's ability to elevate is just impressive, so that was a good finish by her.
Boise State on top, 12-8, says Natalie Pasco with a couple triples for Boise State here in the first. Boise State up 4 in this one, and you look at the numbers, Jim, when you compare these two teams. Boise State, the top scoring team in the conference, and shooting very well, and we've seen early going, those numbers holding about true.
Absolutely. You know, the Broncos shooting 45% for field goal percentage, that's tremendous. And I think one thing that Coach Sower talked about in the post-production or the pre-production meeting is just how they're doing a better job of waiting for a better shot. So I think when you get your team to buy into that, you're going to see a high success rate on finish.
Bays gets the feed from Thompson and buries the corner three. The Broncos now 50% from beyond the arc at 3 of 6.
And I believe that makes three-pointer number 168 for Danny. She's just a couple away from moving up in the program rankings. She's 7th right now, hopefully going to be climbing to 6th with another make.
Ball back to Boise State on the turnover. As the Broncos leading 15-8 over the Lancers. Hutton, good idea from Thompson, but a little too much mustard, and Libby couldn't corral it.
A little bit too much, but that top and in is such a really tough thing for defenses to defend. So that was a good look by Tatum. Just need to take a little bit off.
Barros out to Chloe Lemon now in the game. She missed her first shot. She follows it, doesn't get it to drop. Hutton over the back for a couple times with Johansson. They don't call that, and it's out of bounds off Boise State.
You know, Lemon had a terrific game against Pepperdine on Wednesday night. She was the second leading scorer with 14 points. She was replacing some scoring points by Olsen, who played minimal minutes.
In for California Baptist is Shawnee Nordstrom from Hamilton, New Zealand, and in for the first time for Boise State. It looks like it's
Thompson.
Kiera Thompson. Yeah. There we go. She was hiding defensively. She's in for Maya Hansen. That ball knocked away, and it'll stay. No, it'll go over to the Broncos.
Kiera's been doing a nice job off the bench. She's been offering a good lift for them in the point guard position. So it's nice to see a freshman gaining confidence as the season has been going on.
Hutton, nice backdoor cut. Tatum with the left hand.
Beautiful finish by Tatum. Great find by Libby. Those two do such a great job of finding each other on the court. And excellent job by Tatum. She had the double pump that in the air, I think. So some style points for Thompson.
Jared Olsen of California Baptist in his 14th season with the timeout. There you see Tatum Thompson with the left hand, and just has pulled out the full arsenal so far here in the first quarter, Kim.
Well, I think that CBU is definitely going to have to change a few things in how they're defending, because right now the Broncos are getting everything that they want offensively. So you're looking to hear a few words of wisdom by Coach Olson in the timeout, changing up some stuff.
Broncos have hit their last 4 shots. They're on a 10-0 run over the last 2 minutes, 12-2 over the last 2.5 minutes, and they have increased the lead now to 17-8 against the California Baptist team that is struggling from the field, just 3 of 10.
Again, look to Lemon to get some more instigation on the offensive end. And then Olson, I mean, I can't emphasize enough how important of a scorer she is for CBU. So between her and hopefully Barros will get going for them as well.
Olson, their leading scorer, just about 14 a game. This is Nordstrom driving on Danny Bays. Lofts it up high for Johansson. Tough catch in traffic, and Tatum Thompson with the rebound.
I do think Johansson might have been in the key for an exceptionally long time in that last possession. Tough up pass, didn't quite make a connection there between Tatum and Libby. But again, it's a good look. When you see your post players run the floor like that, you want to reward them.
Turnover on Boise State is their 3rd. This CBU team forces 19 turnovers a game. Boise State turns it over almost 18.5 times a game. So Gordy Presnell wants his team to take better care of the basketball. Nice play by Hutton to break up that pass to the low post. And the ball out of bounds off Olson. That'll be Boise State. There you see Jared Olson in his 14th year, named the Coach of the Year after winning 26 games in 2021. Overall, he is 438 and 214 in his 22nd season on a bench. Pasco has that one roll off, and Hutton tries to follow, but it's off of her and out of bounds. So 2 very, very veteran, experienced coaches doing battle today, and kind of a surprise that these teams have never played each other.
I agree. I mean, CBU hasn't been Division I the entire time. But at the same time, Coach Olson, he wins. He knows how to win. I mean, he has a winning percentage of, I think, almost 72%. In the Division I, it's over 66%. So he does a terrific job. I know the graphic pointed out he was a K-Yow Coach of the Year winner. That's the top Division I coach each year. So the fact that he got that in 2021 is very, very impressive.
Chloe Lemon hits a 3-ball to break the Bronco run. Emily Howard now in the game for Boise State at 6'5", the redshirt junior out of Vancouver, BC, with the left hand, left it short.
That was a nice move by Emily coming back to the inside. Just needs to take advantage when she's got that smaller defender against her.
Lemon fouled on the drive to the basket, and you're exactly right, Kim, as you see Gordy Presnell, the veteran for Boise State.
You know, Gordy is 22nd all-time in NCAA wins. He has 776 wins, hopefully adding another one today if the Broncos can continue to keep this lead.
You're talking about how Lemon can spark things, and she's done that, hitting the 3, driving the basket, drawing the foul. And she rattles that second free throw in, giving her 5 points.
She's a junior. She's been at CBU all of her career. Just does a really nice job with some energy off the bench.
Underneath for Howard, muscles it up and scores. Tough catch. She had to twist around, sort of a back shoulder football play, the pass, but Emily pulled it in and hit the bucket, and then back the other way. Lemon hits the triple. Again,
Lemon is playing with some confidence after having that good opportunity against Pepperdine on Wednesday.
Howard pushed off defensively, but scores anyway. Boise State taking advantage of the fact that the 6'3" Johansson is not in the game, and that's back-to-back hoops for Howard. On the rebound, it's Thompson.
That's a strong move by Howard. I love to see that. And she's got a lot of body that's going in the inside of her, so it's pretty cool to see her hold the ball high and get that finish.
Kara Thompson doesn't get the triple. Barros with the rebound.
I think that was possession the Broncos want back. That isn't a bad shot for Key, but I think it's just a little early in the shot clock. Now, Philippa, who just grabbed that offensive rebound for CBU. Lemon again. Felipa averages 10.5 rebounds for CBU for a game. So she is a guard. She's only 5'9", but man, she gets in there and mixes it up. So she's somebody that wants to keep more possessions in their hands.
Howard, not a good-looking shot, and it goes out of bounds. Sophia Alonso is in the game for California Baptist. Hansen comes back in, along with our first look today at Kenna Garza, the freshman from Pocatello. And a surprise, I think, for Boise State, Mason Borcherding, the 6'1" freshman from Colorado, also in the game.
And both Mason and Kenna have been doing very well. They've been offering some great minutes. Kenna specifically had a wonderful tournament down at the Paradise Jam, had some very important points for the Broncos.
Nordstrom fires that up from 3, and it's an air ball. And Boise State's lead down to 2, and they will have the ball here in the final 28 seconds of the opening quarter as Maya Hansen faces the pressure by Nordstrom.
Again, if you watch CBU, I mean, they're just really active with their hands. Again, compliments to Coach Jared Olson and what he teaches with defense in his program. But you'll see him just poking at the ball constantly.
Pasco drains another 3. Natalie with 9 on 3 of 4 from beyond the arc. Barros, that one knocked away. It's picked up. It'll count if it goes.
Oh, almost,
short
Danny.
For Danny Bays, and Boise State takes the lead after one quarter, 24-19 over the Lancers, as we see the corner 3 for the Broncos. They're up 5. Boise State went on a 10-0 scoring run in that first quarter, as Boise State saw Natalie Pasco hit a couple, Tatum Thompson also big, as the Broncos got some separation, Kim.
They definitely did, but you have to credit CBU because they came roaring back. They hit a couple threes of their own, closed it to within a couple points. So it's important that the Broncos continue this surge on offense.
Lemon leads all scorers with 11. Pasco leads Boise State with 9. As Boise State has the ball to start the second quarter. This is Garza down low. The Pocatello product is fouled as she goes to the rim. Shine for the Pocatello High School Thunder in her high school career, and makes a move to Boise, where she has been a pleasant surprise, I think, with her contributions.
She's been a great surprise. You know, Kenna had a nice opportunity to really get her feet wet with that trip to Greece they did in the end of the summer. And then I think she was plagued a little bit early on in the fall. She had a little bit of a sprained ankle, but once she came back, she's been very solid. You know, one thing about Kenna is she's not afraid of taking some contact. You saw she took quite a bit of contact on that opportunity.
Also played volleyball at Pocatello High School. 9 points against North Dakota. So she, as you said, played very well down in the Virgin Islands. Misses both free throws. The ball knocked out of bounds. It'll stay at this end for Boise State. Morgan Maldonado, rather, checks in out of Anchorage, Alaska, and it's for Boise State. And it's really an interesting dichotomy on this Boise State team, Kim. You've got a lot of seniors and a lot of freshmen.
You do, and you never quite know what the chemistry is going to do with that. You know, anytime you think, oh boy, we have 3 freshmen out there on the floor at the same time. Thank goodness we have 2 seniors out there with them. But it kind of makes my toes curl a little bit when you see that many.
Borcherding travels as she makes her move. Eyes lit up, saw the space she had, and shuffled the feet.
You know, I do want to credit Mason with that last possession down there. I think she was part of why we were able to retain that possession and get the ball in the baseline out of bounds. She rebounds hard, but I think she realized that was maybe too deep of a shot for her. Tried to get a little bit closer, but just didn't get her feet right. Broncos
with the steal. Cross-court passes picked off. Driving the other way was Olsen underneath for 2. That's Sophia Alonso, the 5'6" junior from Spain.
Yes, Alonso is a transfer, one of 2 transfers from Sac State. Nice job getting out in transition and finding the finish. I think Maya Hansen thought she was going to get the charge call in her favor, but the official did not agree with that.
Pasco outside, away from the ball. We have a whistle, and it's going to be a foul on Kenna Garza, setting a screen against Rayleigh Hess from Windsor, Colorado, a 6-foot freshman. And now Hess, you see, will go to the California Baptist bench, and we will see Emma Johansson check back in. So now this will be an interesting matchup for Kenna Garza at 6'2", although she certainly looks a lot shorter than that compared to Johansson.
She does. Again, Johansson is just so long.
And there's a foul on Hansen running through the screen of Johansson. Second foul on Hansen. If you watch this one again, good screen set by Johansson, and Maya just plows into it.
Well, you have to credit Olsen for that. She did a great job coming directly off the screen. I think that's one of the things of the offensive player. If you focus on coming off shoulder to shoulder, you're going to get rewards like what you just did, getting that foul called on Hansen. So Hansen's trying to push her off of that screen, and credit Lauren Olsen by doing a good job of coming directly off of that screen.
Not sure what the discussion is. Hansen leaves, Bays replaces her, so it's Pasco, Garza, Borcherding, Maldonado, and Bays on the floor for Gordy Presnell.
I think it was Hansen's second foul, right. So perhaps Coach Presnell wants to have her sit and think about that one just a little bit.
Just not sure what the officials were talking about. It seemed pretty straightforward to me, but here we go. 3-point Bronco lead. The pass a little too strong, and then a foul called. I think they're going to get, yes, they will get the foul on Johansson with the shove on the baseline as Boise State forces the turnover, the 8th today against California Baptist.
And that's Johansson's second foul. So I'll be really curious to see what Coach Olsen decides to do here. Against Pepperdine, he gave her some leash, and he let her stay in there with 2. She picked up her 3rd in the first half. So it'll be interesting if the Broncos can capitalize and possibly get an extra foul.
Borcherding called for the travel again. Good defense down low, forcing that turnover against the Bronco freshman. And now we'll see Thompson come in for Borcherding. The defense pressure down low by Alonso, forcing that turnover. Alonso cross court to Bucher. A quick fire by Lemon, skips off the iron, and Thompson with the rebound. That is her 4th. Tatum fires the mid-range jumper a little too strong. Garza runs down the offensive rebound for Boise State. And then a tie-up, and the ball favors California Baptist as they will get it on the alternating possession.
So again, I mentioned it earlier, but Coach Jared Olsen gives his players a little bit of slack here. So you got both Olsen, number 13, and also Johansson, number 14, with 2 fouls each. So picking up that 3rd foul in the first half really, really complicates things for you moving forward. So again, if Kenna can do a good job on Johansson, maybe get a strong box out, make her pick up foul number 3, that would be perfect for the Broncos.
Outstanding anticipation by Tatum Thompson to come from the weak side and steal away that pass into the post, and then Thompson fouled out on the perimeter. But Tatum Thompson, with that weak side help, skied through. So we watch this one again on the offensive end. The shot off the mark by Bays, but Thompson with the rebound and fouled by Lemon.
Again, Thompson has such a nose for the ball. I think she's got 5 rebounds right now already for the Broncos.
Off the inbounds pass, that shot no good. Tied up on the baseline. And this time Boise State gets the alternating possession as Garza and Bays created a sandwich around Filipa Barros, the 5'9" redshirt junior from Portugal.
That base on a bounce play is a perfect one for Danny Bays. She knows she's going to have that shot, so when she comes off the screen, she's already catching ready. Something that I think is a big thing in high school. We try to get kids to catch ready to shoot on the catch, and that's a difficult transition for some players.
I'm hearing echoes of Ralph Miller in my ears, because that was one of his big thing is always be ready. As the Broncos get called for the 5-second violation.
That's a fast 5. That's
yep.
we counted every other number, I think, on that one.
It's been a 3-point game for a while.
Both teams been stuck here for a bit.
But not anymore as Olsen scores to make it a 1-point contest. The Boise State offense a little stagnant as Maldonado works the far side, picks up her dribble, gets it to Pasco.
Again, Olsen knows how to score. She broke Wyoming's high school girls basketball scoring record early in her senior year. That record held for 19 years. So she knows how to put the ball in the hole. You don't want to give her direct lane basket drives.
On the entry pass, Bucher called for the foul against Thompson. And that'll be Bucher's second personal foul. So 3 Lancers with 2 fouls each. As you watch the pass into the post, Thompson fouled on the entry pass. Hutton comes in for Garza, who gives Gordy Presnell 4 solid minutes. Danny Bays on the inbounds.
Again, Danny, just such a smart player, really, really consistent with her feet on the catch and her ability to shoot as soon as she catches that ball.
Broncos with their first points of the quarter. Barros travels as she passes the ball off, and Boise State will get the ball back. They're 24 points by the Broncos, their highest scoring first quarter of the season.
That was a great job by Morgan, really applying some pressure. I think the officials let bumps go by both teams between Philippa and Morgan on that last drive, but a little bit too much with the extra steps.
Hutton back in the game up on the perimeter at the top, gives it to Maldonado. She's tied up and fouled by Bucher. That's 3 on Chance Bucher out of Half Moon Bay, California, in my neck of the woods, just over the hill from where I grew up.
Beautiful area.
It is a very nice area, but she and I will have to sit.
Speaking of beautiful areas, you got Morgan, who's from Anchorage, Alaska,
Yeah.
you know, back-to-back state champion. She's used to being in pressure situations, so excited to get her some early minutes.
Freshman from Mountain City Christian Academy in Anchorage, and you talk about how Boise State recruits a lot of Australians on this roster, Vancouver, BC. You go all the way up to Anchorage, Alaska to find talent, and Gordy Presnell manages to bring them down to Boise.
You know, Morgan played with Sellers, who's a standout player for UW. Very, very quality basketball at her hometown school there at Mountain City Christian Academy. My squad actually played them at the Gonzaga tournament for quite a few years, so they would come over and play for a couple weeks in the summer up in Spokane.
Maldonado, after the good defensive pressure by the Broncos, tough catch for Thompson, fall back in the lane for 2. Tatum Thompson's got 8.
Man, Tatum, great catch by her. That was a tough one. I think Morgan just sort of threw it up, hoping for the best, and Tatum made the best happen.
6-0 run for Boise State over the last minute plus. Lemon from the top, doesn't get it to go. Hutton with the board.
Again, that would be the 14th three-pointer attempted by CBU. They're actually shooting at a pretty decent click right now. 5
doesn't
of
get
14.
that one to drop, and then on the rebound, Libby's called for the foul. Just curled off the iron.
And that's a frustration foul there by Libby. That's, you know you should have gotten that finish. I think Johansson did a smart thing by not trying to reach in and get that foul there. That would have been her 3rd.
Lemon, swing it to Barros, 4th triple, that's off the mark. Rebounded by Natalie Pasco.
Barros is not really known for her three-point shooting. She gets most of her points in other ways, a lot of times run-outs because of the defensive pressure that she puts on the other team.
Pasco couldn't get that one to drop, and it'll be the Lancers' ball as we've hit a timeout as Danny Bays hits that one. She's got 5. The Broncos lead by 7. Tatum Thompson with 8 points, 5 rebounds today, and she's really been active on both ends of the floor, Kim.
She has. She's had her hands on quite a few basketball loose balls in the defensive end, but she's just scoring, elevating her game.
She makes everybody around her better, too, and that's coaches have really praised her leadership this year, that she's been a little more vocal as a leader, and then she can back it up with her play on the court.
When your seniors are playing hard for you, if you're an underclassman, I think that's a challenge, right? Got to make sure you match their intensity and their energy.
Barros in the forecourt, guarded by Maldonado. Behind the screen, Olsen gets it down low to Johansson, and she puts it in with the left hand.
That was a nice finish by Johansson. Again, she's a lefty, and she really does a great job of extending and stretching to the basket for her finish.
Bronco lead down to 5. Maldonado, a little trouble with the dribble. The ball poked at and stolen by Olsen. And that's exactly what you were talking about, Kim. They get into your space, and they will disrupt things.
Yeah, Morgan was looking for the entry pass. I think her timing with the guard was just a little bit off, and that look up, it cost her.
Back-to-back hoops for Johansson. She's now got 4 points, and the lead is down to 3 with 4 minutes to go here in the first half.
Coach Presnell is still sitting on Maya Henson, keeping her on the bench, going with the freshman point guard instead. Maya's got 2 fouls, so I think that's why he's playing conservatively.
Howard is tied up, and the jump ball goes to California Baptist. And that time, I think Emily made a mistake of putting the ball on the floor, and that just opens up all sorts of shenanigans.
Exactly. When you are 6'5", that's a long drop on that dribble. So when you put it on the floor, you better only put it there once, and you better be quick to pick it up.
A triple for the Lancers would tie this one up. There's Legaspi. They swing it around to Nordstrom, guarded by Pasco. Nordstrom in the corner. Cece Legaspi left that one short, and Maldonado with the rebound. But you wish you had done that a few more times against your Boise Braves.
I do. I can actually rattle off specific games when I wish that she would have done that.
Outside, it's Danny Bays. A little trouble with the dribble, and it's stolen away. Olsen with the thievery.
Uncharacteristic turnover there by Danny.
And a nice finish by Olsen. Up and under Tatum Thompson, and it's a 1-point game. Quickly down the floor, Bays missed the layup but was fouled.
I think Danny was worried that the official did a patient whistle there, and I think that she was worried that that whistle was not coming. I agree with her. Definitely something that she should go to the line on that one. That was a good up pass by Maldonado.
Each team with 12 turnovers as the Lancers are off on a 6-0 run. Broncos have turned it over 3 times here in the last about 250, and that's their scoring drought as well, as Danny Bays steps to the free throw line. And the senior, the 76% free throw shooter, was Mountain West Player of the Week after scoring 31 points over in a win over UC Davis earlier this season. She hits a pair. Pasco will sit, and coming in for the first time, Izzy Harms, 6'1" freshman from Eugene, Oregon.
Izzy's been getting minutes, and I think every single game for the Broncos. Very long defender, really can have ability to disrupt things, and also can be a quality shooter from outside.
Lemon drives and scores off the window. She's got 13, and the Bronco lead is down to 1 with 2.5 minutes to go. Lemon has been the spark plug off of Jared Olsen's bench. And California Baptist has ratcheted up the defensive intensity. Outside, Izzy Harms with the triple. Her first three-pointer made of the year.
I think that's actually her first points of the year. But, boy, she can fill up a stat sheet if you give her that opportunity. Lemon is having herself a day. Again, I mentioned 16. That she had 14 against Pepperdine, and I believe that was maybe her career high. So for her to already have 16, that's huge.
Howard inside for 2. Lemon 17 points against Long Beach State, her season high. She's at 16 right now. The ball saved nicely in the backcourt by Johansson. They're staying out of the backcourt. Lemon, heat check, doesn't get that one to drop.
Almost did.
And Howard clears the board. Underneath, running the floor, Thompson, fallback, skips off the iron.
I think Tatum wants that possession back. She was falling away pretty hard. That's another variable that's very difficult. Oh, great job, Danny.
Danny Bays takes the contact from Lemon, who's called for her second personal foul.
Danny has been hitting the floor quite a bit in her senior year. She's wearing that pad on her elbow. Right. I think it looks like the size of a golf ball underneath there. But, man, that does not stop her. She'll get on the floor, loose balls. She will rotate over the defense like what she just did. Took an important charge and got Lemon off the court, which is huge.
Jada Lewis, the freshman from Seattle's Garfield High School, checks in the game. And yet another freshman on the floor for Gordy Presnell as Danny Bays gets it on top to Howard. Hands behind her to Harms. She'll launch another three, and that one is well short. The rebound, though, is taken away by Alonso. Quick outlet pass to Nordstrom. Kicks it into the corner to Legaspi, who cannot save it, and it'll be off of Boise State in that far corner. Our view is obscured. Didn't see who the ball was last touched. We'll find it again. Pass sort of no man's land, and they're going to call it off Danny Bays as Legaspi plays referee.
Fairly sure the entire Bronco bench felt differently there.
Inbounds pass comes to Nordstrom. Behind the screen. Kicks it in the corner to Barros. Jump pass in the corner for the triple on the way and off the mark by Alonso. And the rebound is loose and it's picked up by Howard for Boise State. 40 seconds to go in the half. The Bronco lead is 3. Howard, hands behind her to Harms. Izzy. Howard put it on the deck again. Little uncertainty, finds the safety valve. It's Danny Bays with 5 on the shot clock. Bays fires for 2. It spins out. And it'll be off Izzy Harms.
That three was in and out for Bays. I really thought that one was going down for her.
And then you see Harms, the last one to touch it on the baseline in front of Legaspi. So the final possession of the half should go to the Lancers. Legaspi to Barros. Barros cut off nicely by Howard. Throws it in the corner, and there's nobody home but Boise State's Maya Hansen on the bench. So with 0.3 of a second to go, Boise State has the last possession of the first half.
I'm sure that they're just going to catch and hold going to the half.
And that's exactly what they do. We have reached halftime in a, at times, not very artistic, but other times, a lot of good basketball. Boise State up 3 at the half over the Lancers from California Baptist. Halftime comes your way after this timeout on the Mountain West Network. Welcome back to ExtraMile Arena with Kim Bridges. I am Mark Snyder. We are at the half. Boise State leading California Baptist 37-34. That first half was really a run, a half of runs. Boise State run out a 10-0 run in that first quarter. But then Chloe Lemon, the junior for California Baptist, she got hot. She's a one-person run.
You have to hand it to Lemon. She's coming off of a great game against Pepperdine on Wednesday night where she scored 14 points off of the bench. She only has 3 starts on the season and did not start tonight. But boy, she has been an offensive fireplug for CBU.
17 points against Long Beach State earlier this season is her season best. And the junior from Omaha has really kept the Lancers in it, scoring 17 points. And she is 4 of 9 from long range. On the other side for Boise State, it's been the senior Natalie Pasco out of Danville, California. She has shined today as Natalie has 9 points.
Natalie now has surpassed Mikkel Askew, who was a Bronco great from Utah. She is now 11th in the career points. She is 3 of 5 from three-point land, and hopefully we'll add a couple more to that total today.
Natalie Pasco, one of the seniors for Gordy Presnell, with 9 points. She is the Broncos' leading scorer. Tatum Thompson has 8. Let's check out the preseason poll. The coaches had Boise State receiving 1 first-place vote, and they were picked to finish 4th in a very good Mountain West Conference, again highlighted by UNLV, who is losing at the half today to Rice, 31-25.
UNLV really scheduled a tough preseason schedule. Another team that definitely has been challenging themselves is Colorado State. Don't sleep on the Rams. They have had a really tough battle. I think just finally picked up their first loss the other day against Utah. But Colorado State and San Diego State are also very formidable opponents.
And of course, Boise State will take on those Utah Utes Wednesday as they travel down to Salt Lake City for that contest. We check out the standings here in the Mountain West Conference as non-conference games continue as we prepare for the regular season. I guess we're not going to bring you those. One other game is a final today. Was McNeese State at the Brianne January Classic beating the Nevada Wolfpack 63-42. Elsewhere today, Utah Valley will host Air Force. That game tips off in a couple minutes. And Fresno State takes on the Pepperdine Wave. That'll be tonight at 6 o'clock in Fresno. Boise State with a 3-point lead over California Baptist in the first ever meeting between the Broncos and the Lancers. We have more halftime activity coming your way from ExtraMile Arena after we take this timeout from Boise. Boise State leads California Baptist by 3 here at halftime at ExtraMile Arena in Boise with Kim Bridges. I am Mark Snyder. And as if you look at the Boise State players, and some of them seem to be a little more tanned than normal, the explanation is very simple. They spent their Thanksgiving holiday down in the Virgin Islands taking on North Dakota and Tulane in the Paradise Jam. And tough duty, Kim, you had to go as well, but a good trip for the Broncos, and they brought home a trophy.
Great trip for the Broncos. I mean, who doesn't like going down there in November? It was a little bit of a rude awakening to leave 81 degrees and come back to 21 degrees the morning after from the Paradise Jam. But the Broncos really got some excellent momentum, holding on and getting that win against Tulane. You see them putting the sticker there for winning the championship of their bracket. It was just really an awesome opportunity for these seniors to put something into the trophy case that they have in their locker room.
Tatum Thompson, the tournament MVP, averaged 17.5 points a game and 7 rebounds. Danny Bayes, an outstanding tournament, 17.5 points as well, 5 rebounds and 5.5 assists a game. And just like the trip to Greece in the summer, these are really important bonding moments for a team.
Absolutely. I mean, the girls got to go on a catamaran. They got to snorkel. They got to go to the beach. I think Danny, she's one with the sea. I think every single morning she was walking down to the beach and she would post something on her Instagram, some amazing picture of her just getting a little dip. So possibly that is what recharged her soul and got her ready to go today.
I want to talk about the significance of the win against Tulane. First ever meeting against the Tulane Wave, and Tulane really gave them a challenge late. Boise State had a big lead, but the Green Wave managed to come back. How important was holding off a good team to win a game like that?
You know, that was one of the things that I think Coach Presnell was most excited about, was the fact that they were able to hold on to that victory. I mean, because the Green Wave, they came back and they came back fierce. I forget how many threes they made in the final couple minutes, but they were just catch and shoot and then applying all sorts of pressure. So the Broncos were really tested there, and coming out with a victory in that game is only going to serve them well as they enter conference play soon.
When you look at Boise State in the past, those are games that sometimes the Broncos couldn't hold on to. So an important moment, but it also shows you a senior-laden team and the advantages there. Let's check out the stats in the first half, and it's pretty even, as you can see by the score. A 3-point Boise State lead. Each team shooting the same percentage from the field. The Broncos better from 3. Rebounding is pretty close. Turnovers a little too high for coaches' liking, Kim, but what numbers jump out when you look at those?
That turnover category is definitely what my eye was drawn to immediately. 12 turnovers for the Broncos in the first half. That's too many. I mean, at least 6 too many, I would say, for them. CBU is not a pressing team, but they do play with so much half-court pressure. They're constantly poking at the basketball, and they're really causing some havoc for the Broncos. So they need to definitely clean up that area. I would like to also see them continue to increase that rebounding gap.
Boise State 12 points off of the CBU turnovers, while the Lancers 8 points off the Bronco miscues. Boise State up by 3 here at ExtraMile Arena, and we're back with the second half action after we take this timeout on the Mountain West Network. Broncos lead the Lancers by 3 as we get set to start the second half here at ExtraMile Arena. When you take a look at Boise State's schedule, the non-conference schedule has been good to the Broncos so far. They are 7-1 overall, and just a couple more non-conference games, Kim, before Mountain West season starts. And the big one probably is next Wednesday when they travel down to Utah to take on the Utes.
Yeah, I think the Broncos are definitely excited for that Utah game, especially after not performing to the potential of what they thought they could produce against Colorado. So another road trip, not very far road trip, but I think that that is going to be a really great opportunity for them to gain some steam moving into conference play.
And just the second non-conference road game for the Broncos, if you don't count the neutral site games down in the Virgin Islands. On the other side of the coin for the Lancers, they will take on UC Irvine. Then they will play UC San Diego, Denver, and then the Nebraska Cornhuskers before they start their final WAC conference season.
That's a tough test there with Nebraska right before you go into conference play. But, you know, Coach Olson has high aspirations for this team, and so he wants to challenge them early as much as possible.
Of course, we mentioned California Baptist, their final season in the WAC. They will become a Big West Conference next year, and they're 4-1 this season against their future opponents, beating UC Riverside, Long Beach State, and Cal State Northridge and Sacramento State, and losing to UC Santa Barbara. Interesting, this is the first time these two teams, Boise State and California Baptist, have played each other, but it's not the first time that Boise State has played a team from Riverside this season, as the Broncos took on UC Riverside this season, winning here at ExtraMile Arena 67-56. California Baptist also in Riverside, California.
Cal Baptist opened up with UC Riverside, their first game of the year, only won by 3. I'm sure that they're playing in much better tempo and pace now.
Broncos with the ball to start the second half, and on the pass to Pasco in the low post, Lauren Olson is called for the holding foul.
That's a nice design set for Natalie coming off that curl screen. Defender just got behind and tried to grab a hand as she did.
Olson to the bench with her 4th foul here in the opening 8 seconds of the second half. And Boise State gets the reset on the shot clock. The ball comes into Tatum Thompson.
4 fouls on Olson. That's really going to hurt CBU. That's something they did not want to see, especially just with 15 seconds gone in the third quarter.
Thompson has that one come up short. She thought she was fouled. Back the other way is Bucher, and she is fouled on the block. Called against the Broncos. You see Tatum Thompson holding her arms out saying that's a foul, but at the other end, when I got hit, it wasn't.
Bucher was coming downhill pretty hard on that one, and I think she kind of paid for it. She came up limping, but you know, that's just unfortunate. I'm not sure that we had too much contact there by the Broncos.
Bucher's the daughter of renowned sports writer and basketball savant Rick Bucher. Underneath with the left hand, it doesn't go for Johansson, and Hutton rips down the rebound.
Johansson does not miss many of those, especially with her left hand, but she does a great job, as I mentioned earlier, extending to the basket with that long frame. Good job by getting the box out for the Broncos.
Foul called against California Baptist. I think that is Legaspi, which would be her second. Talk about Maya Hansen sitting out much of that first half for Boise State. Just played 8 minutes in that first half, and certainly want to keep her on the floor for more minutes as Danny Bays hits the first free throw, giving her 8 points.
That's a coaching philosophy. I mean, myself, I was always a little bit more conservative, you know, especially got to take a look at what the officials are calling and not calling. If you feel like that she might get whistled for number 3 in the first half, that really handicaps you in the second. So Coach Pesnell played conservatively, went with some of the freshman point guards in her stead, and is able to come in here without, Danny paid for that one.
Yes, she did. Bays took that charge in front of the CBU bench. So we watch this one again, and the foul is called against Cece Legaspi, and that is now 3 on her.
Dribble handoffs have been a point of emphasis for officials this year, so I think Danny did a great job really forcing the action on that and coming off hard. She paid for it physically, but that was an important foul called against Legaspi.
Hansen, nice defense in the low post there by Nordstrom to take away that entry pass. Out to Legaspi. Legaspi cut off by Pasco. Kicks it out far side. Bucher. That doesn't go. And the rebound is to the Broncos off the hands of Cece Legaspi. I want to correct myself because Legaspi, she does have 3 fouls.
She has 3, yeah.
Staying in there, I thought with the third foul that perhaps Jared Olson would take her out, but he's going to stick with the Treasure Valley native. Danny Bays, Hutton, Pasco, work it around to Maya Hansen. In the paint, up and under, doesn't get it to drop. Johansson with the rebound. Everything there but the finish.
That was some unselfish basketball there by the Broncos. There were at least 1 or 2 shots that were passed up for a better shot. Maya doesn't get that finish, but that was a good attack by her.
Libby Hutton called for the foul on Legaspi, and she's not sure why. And Bronco coaches say there was a travel there as we watch it again from the floor angle.
I think she had her feet set on that one, but you know, when you have a person coming downhill, you really have to keep your hands straight up, and that's going to be a tough, I think, 3rd foul there for Libby.
Legaspi hits the first free throw. CC Wack, freshman of the year, 2nd on the Lancers team last year in blocked shots, 2-time All-State of Rocky Mountain. So she's got the big contingent cheering for her, part of the announced crowd of 1,696 here on a Saturday afternoon. As the Broncos jog it across the floor, Maya Hansen finally playing the position she was recruited for. Came into Boise as a point guard, but when you're playing behind Mary Kay Narrow, you're not going to see a lot of minutes, and she became the 2 guard. Now she's handling the point. Danny Bays drives and scores.
Huge finish by Danny, and she had to do that through all sorts of contact. So great job by the senior getting that finish, getting that important bucket for the Broncos.
Kenna Garza in for Hutton for the Broncos. Nice move on the baseline. Doesn't get it to go, but Johansson cleans up the mess with her 6th point and 5th rebound.
Broncos got a little bit out of sort there, pulling not only one help, but a second help on different cutting CBU players. So that was a tough defense.
2-man game. Tatum Thompson with the and one opportunity. Beautiful pass in from Danny Bays to the cutter, Tatum Thompson. And Tatum goes to the foul line, looking to complete the 3-point play.
Tatum does a great job of slipping those screens. And again, you have the help side rotating over, but that's not something that's going to bother Tatum. She gets a strong finish to the hoop.
Thompson now with 10 points. She and Bays in double figures. Lemon checks in with her 16 points for the Lancers as Thompson completes a 3-point play. And the Bronco lead is 6. Danny Bays following Chloe Lemon all over the floor as Barrows gives behind her to Nordstrom. Now here's Bucher. Bucher on top for 3, spins out. Garza muscles the rebound and is called for the travel.
A lot of contact on that.
Wow.
You know, you would like to reward the rebounder in that situation, and I think everybody in the arena agrees that we would like to see that one go differently.
A lot of reaching and grabbing, and it goes California Baptist way. Gordy Presnell at midcourt, hands on hips, not happy with that call. Will it cost the Broncos? The 3 ball from the corners off the mark, and that time Garza all alone with the rebound. Hansen, skip pass, Pasco, catch, fire, hit.
Huge 3 by Natalie, and a great find by Maya. I should mention that Maya is just killing it in terms of assists this season. She's leading the Mountain West, and that is just a reason why. Does a great job of finding her teammates.
Pasco, the 3rd Bronco in double figures. She's got 12. Boise State gets the ball back. That's now the 3rd assist for Maya Hansen. 12 for the Broncos on 16 field goals as we watch this one again. And the last touch by Johansson. And a touch foul on the sideline called against CBU's Shawnee Nordstrom from Hamilton, New Zealand. When you look at these rosters, international players galore on both teams. Boise State recruits heavily in Australia. We've talked about that, but you've got players from Portugal and Sweden and New Zealand and Spain. It's really become an international game at the U.S. college level, hasn't it, Kim?
It has, you know, and especially with mid-majors, I think that's sometimes their go-to, you know, to try to get an edge and try to get up in your recruiting. You know, Nordstrom is from New Zealand originally, but she did her playing days in high school at Lone Peak High School out of Utah. And her father actually, pretty terrific rugby player who played at BYU for their rugby squad. She's got uncles that are also playing professional rugby, so comes from a tough athletic family.
CBU takes a timeout as they're now trailing the biggest lead of the game for the Broncos at 11 points. And we will take the timeout as well. Boise State now up 49-38, 6:09 to go in the third quarter. We're live from Boise. Boise State, 6 of 13 from beyond the arc today. And the Broncos, who normally shoot 40% from the three-point line, exceeding that today.
Just a great job by the Broncos finding shooters and being patient for that better shot. You know, you saw Maya Hansen in this package get a couple of her assists. She has 3 on the day. She's leading the Mountain West right now. Coming into the game, had 40 assists and now is up to 43. So terrific job by the Broncos finding the better shot.
And Natalie Pasco with a season-high 4 3-pointers as the Broncos force the 5-second count. And coming out of a timeout, that's just what kills coaches. You set up a play in the timeout, and then you can't get the ball in. As Kenna Garza rolls that one around.
Nice roll by Garza there. Yeah, I'm quite sure that Coach Jared Olson was very upset about that. He called that timeout sort of out of nowhere, was unhappy with a couple things with their offensive setup, and then to come out and have a 5-second call, that is a very frustrating as a coach.
Broncos on their second 10-0 run of the game, and they get the ball on the turnover, but they're going to call Garza with the reach on that pass in the low post. Broncos again have hit their last 4 field goals, and their overall run is 12-2. As you see, Garza called for the foul on the reach against Johansson.
Yeah, that's tough by Kenna. She definitely did grab a little bit when she was trying to come around. And you have a senior there playing against a freshman, so I think that's experience working in Johansson's favor.
She'll go out and step up and miss the 3. It rattled out, and Tatum Thompson with her 7th rebound to go on with 11 points. Maya Hansen dishes it behind her, and they go down to Garza, but it's knocked away and stolen by Johansson. Her outlet pass to Lemon. Lemon drives. Thompson rejects the shot. Tatum says, not in my house.
Huge athletic defense there by Tatum Thompson, and that shot had no chance at all.
She closed so quickly on this shot. Boom. Inbounds pass Johansson. No. Thompson, another rebound. I think Tatum's got that look in her eye right now.
I think she got bopped in the face on that rebound, too, so she's a little upset. The calls have not been going in her favor right now.
Outside Hansen sets the screen by Thompson, then the ball knocked out of bounds. Broncos retain with 4:57 to go in the third quarter. 15 on the shot clock, and Tatum Thompson says, not this time, Chloe Lemon. The Broncos lead big. Maya Hansen leads the Mountain West Conference in assists this season at 5 a game. The Broncos lead the conference at 17 a game, and Maya's doing it again today. She's got 4 assists.
Maya's just doing a terrific job as leading the helm for the Broncos, and again, already has a handful of assists to add to her average of 5 per game.
Turnover by Boise State. Lemon down low. They kick it out to Olsen. Spots for the 3 and swishes it.
You do not want to leave Olsen open. She's plagued by that foul trouble, is riding with 4 fouls right now. So Broncos wouldn't mind seeing her pick up foul number 5 before we reach the end of the quarter.
A whistle down low, and it'll be California Baptist basketball.
Unusual jump call there. I mean, if anything, that might have been Danny's foul, but I think the Broncos will be happy with the jump instead.
California Baptist down 10. Johansson misses her second 3-point attempt. And Tatum Thompson, another rebound. That's now 9 for Tatum.
Again, Johansson's not really known for her 3-point shooting, so it's interesting. She's already taken 2. I'm not sure Coach Olsen is super happy about that. If you're counting at home, that's 26 threes taken. In comparison, the Broncos have just taken 13 with a much higher efficiency.
Tatum Thompson to the free throw line, 11 points this afternoon. One of 3 Broncos in double figures. And that one spins out to 74% free throw shooter for the Mountain West preseason player of the year, and living up to the hype so far this season. Splits the pair, and the Bronco lead is 11.
Uncharacteristic miss there by
10.
Tatum.
Simple math.
Good job, Danny.
Lemon outside, gives it up to Olsen, to Alonzo. Barrows cross court. Alonzo cut off. Barrows, quick fire 3. No, good block out by Garza, allowing her teammate Danny Bays to get the rebound. Garza cleared out down low, and the rebound came to Danny Bays.
I appreciate Garza's defense on that entire possession. I'm not sure if we were watching all the way through, but she did a good job working to get around, and then definitely pushed her back on that box out. I think sometimes people think about box out, but we always preached box back, and she really did, and that allowed Danny to pick up an easy defensive board.
And I was right. The lead is 11. The scoreboard was just a little tardy, and it made me look bad as Danny Bays goes to the free throw line.
Legaspi just picked up her fourth foul. Right. So you have Olsen with 4, Legaspi with 4, and then you've got Lemon with 3 for CBU.
In for the Lancers is Rayleigh Hess from Windsor, Colorado, a freshman.
Rayleigh's played in all of their games, just kind of mixed minutes off of the bench. But she's shooting a decent tick. She's got 38% from the field, averages about 20 minutes per game, but she's definitely somebody who wants to get at the rim instead of shooting from outside.
14 now for Bays. Make it 15 as she hits a pair. The Broncos 14 of 17 from the line today. CBU just 4 attempts, 4-4 from the line.
Well, and sometimes when you're settling for those outside shots, you know, you're not going to see the line as much. And there you have Barrows actually attacking, attacking the rim, and pokes it out once more. So she's coming up here. She's a one-person pressing team right now. Looks like Lemon's going to come up and help her as well, although Lemon's playing with those 3 fouls, so it's important that she doesn't pick up 4.
Barrows played on the Portuguese U20 team. Here's Pasco outside, gives it to Garza. Tatum Thompson around the horn to Maya Hansen. Hansen to the corner. Hansen drives, and she draws the foul. And the Broncos will shoot their 18th and 19th free throws of the afternoon.
I think it's a good thing that Maya got that foul called in her favor. There definitely was contact down there, but she got herself behind the rim, so that might have been a tough finish.
You watch it again. Yeah, she was in an unfavorable shooting position, but got the foul called as Barrows picks up her first personal foul, and Hansen, a 92% free throw shooter, converts a pair.
I'm actually very surprised if Maya ever misses a free throw. I can't remember what her percentage was out of high school, but it was, impressive.
Maya called for her foul there, and that will be her 3rd personal.
And that's a tough one. Maya does such a great job when she's off ball as far as the defense. She rotates really well, and I think she just got underneath Johansson as she was in the air moving. Took a hit to the face for that one, so Coach Pesnell wants to bring her out for just a quick sit.
Morgan Maldonado, the freshman from Anchorage who played good minutes in that first half, checks in for Boise State. Inside 3 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. The Bronco lead is 13, and they're going to get Johansson with the offensive foul, knocking over Maldonado, who's got holding her neck. She took the worst of that one as we watch it again.
Hey, credit Maldonado on this one. Great job taking that space and really forcing the ball handler off of the screen a little bit. And when the defense moves to try to get a better screen, then that's an easy foul to be called by the officials.
Maldonado to the baseline right. Cut off, gets it out to Garza. Kenna launches the 3. That's too strong. The offensive rebound by Maldonado, but it's out of bounds off of Morgan.
I know Kenna did not get the finish on that one, but I tell you what, Garza is somebody that you want to definitely defend at the 3-point line. When her team won the state championship last year, she rattled off, I think, 3 or 4 3-pointers in the game. Really big finish for them.
Nice pass to Hess for the bucket. Good look from the outside. Pass down low. Tough to handle in traffic, but Hess puts it home for her first bucket of the game. Broncos on the scramble drill get the 2.
All sorts of Broncos on the ground on that one. You have Tatum on the ground. You have Maldonado. Not sure she was grabbing her ankle there on that one. And then Danny had a really interesting finish through traffic as well.
17 for Bays. As we have a break as they tend to Morgan Maldonado, the freshman from Anchorage. Boise State trainers and coach Gordy Presnell around their freshman who has been helped now off the floor.
It's good to see her walk off with a little bit of help there. Morgan's a tough kid though, so she must have toe picked something fierce.
California Baptist picked to finish second in the Western Athletic Conference this year, along with Abilene Christian, as the Broncos leaving their conference and the Lancers are leaving theirs as well after this year. Other games involving the WAC today. Abilene is at East Texas. Utah Valley hosts Air Force. Utah Tech hosts New Mexico. Underneath, the bucket for Barrows.
That's a nice play call by Coach Olson. CBU runs a lot of sets, and they just showed how efficient they can be when they execute well.
Thompson double clutches. It doesn't go. Rebound knocked free, and Barrows comes out of the crowd. Ahead to Lemon. Lemon drives, kicks it out to Barrows. Gets a screen off by Johansson, who has the offensive rebound and the putback.
Tough putback by Johansson on that one. I do want to credit Kiera Thompson. She did a much better job of absorbing the live defender coming down, but just couldn't continue to get that stop for the Broncos.
Garza backs in against Johansson. Her cross-court pass ill-advised and picked off. Here's Lemon. Lemon all the way for 2. Lemon now with 18 points, a new season high, and the Bronco lead is down to 7.
This is a big scoring run for CBU, and I think the Broncos really need a bucket right now.
That one off the mark by Kiera Thompson on the quick release. Lemon, and it's a 5-point game.
Coach Presnell held on that last timeout. I think he saw the quarter was ending, knew he was going to have a chance to talk with his team, but unfortunately that put another 4 points on CBU's scoreboard.
And a whistle, and they're going to get Kenna Garza with an illegal screen. And now the Lancers on an 8-0 run have hit their last 3 field goals, and the big Boise State lead is down to 58-53 as Maldonado looks to be okay as she's set to check back in for the Broncos as Barrows pushes off Thompson. No call underneath. The reverse layup, no by Johansson. She gets it in traffic and it rattles home.
I think that's Lewis at the table right now coming in.
Correct.
I think Maldonado is still getting some attention, but Broncos
Lewis,
badly need a bucket right now.
A 12-2 run for CBU over the last 2 minutes has them down 3, which is where the margin was at halftime. Bays doesn't get it to drop, and we will go to the fourth quarter with a 3-point game as CBU gets off on a 12-2 run to end the third quarter. Come back for the fourth quarter here in Boise. Well, the Lancers end that third quarter on a 12-2 run, doing it both ends of the floor. Their defense leading to a lot of easy buckets. As you see right here, Kim, the Broncos turn it over, and Lemon cashes it in.
A little lackadaisical passing by the Broncos. I think there was a long stretch there without a timeout or without a stoppage in play, and the Broncos looked a little tired, to be totally honest. But credit to Lemon and also Johansson, who had some important buckets for CBU. There you go, wide open, all by herself down there, and continue with the second effort.
CBU with 7 points off 6 Boise State turnovers in that third quarter. And that's why we have a 3-point lead, which is what the margin was at halftime. As Jada Lewis into the game, gives it up to Hutton. Head fake, shot is blocked. That's the 4th block by Johansson. Libby Hutton, though, gets the follow and puts it in. Nice job to stay with the play.
That's a great second effort by Hutton. You know, she's played very limited minutes, has been plagued by foul trouble. I think she has 3 right now in terms of the foul department, but missed the first one. Good contest by CBU, and then just stuck with it.
Credit Lewis for that defense.
Absolutely.
She really battled the much taller Johansson. Now on the follow, Hutton stays with it. Hit a couple times as she went up. No foul called. Gordy Presnell wants to know where the whistle was. And now the other way, it comes down to CBU and Olsen with the bucket.
That's frustrating for the Broncos. Again, great pocket pass by Tatum Thompson for Libby Hutton, and then Libby just could not get that finish. And then for California Baptist to come back and get an easy look by Olsen. That's a tough transition there.
Tatum Thompson head fakes Barros and scores.
That's some toughness by Tatum Thompson. Again, she has not had any possessions that were easy, and Felipa Barros is really pushing her buttons.
Bronco lead back to 5. Barros. And a whistle and a foul called against Jada Lewis of Boise State. On the drive, or is it on? Yes, it will be on the drive, so it'll be free throws. Boise State, 16 of 19 from the line. CBU just 4 of 4 from the foul line, and really that's been the difference today as CBU has hit more field goals and 1 more three-pointer than the Broncos. And the first miss of the game for the Lancers, Barros, a 77% free throw shooter. 23 points against Cal State Northridge earlier this season. 24 is her career high against Western Kentucky as a freshman.
Barros was off last year with a medical red shirt. She had a foot injury, so she had to sit out the entire year. Really has a lot to prove, but she is a dangerous defender. We talked about her rebounding. We talked about her defensive pressure. Her getting that second hit to go for her, that was really important for CBU.
Thompson, tough shot, doesn't get it to go. And now the Lancers looking to take advantage. Lemon quickly blows past Hanson and scores. She's got 22.
Lemon leading the way for CBU.
And then a foul in the backcourt called against Barros. And that is her second. Boise State's lead cut to 2. CBU leads the WAC in blocks per game, and they have 6 so far today, 4 by Johansson. Pasco, that shot well off the mark. And now a tie opportunity here for Lemon. Puts it up, doesn't get it, but drew the foul.
Again, I don't know if you can see how quickly Lemon released on that to be on the offensive side, but as soon as she saw that her teammate had the ball, she leaked out, and Nally tried to get back. Unfortunately, not back in enough time, and easy foul called by the official.
Lemon now with 23 points. One of 3 Lancers in double figures. Olsen and Johansson also with double figure scoring. One of 2 though. And the Broncos with the rebound. Underneath, there's block number 7 by the Lancers, as Johansson puts that attempt by Pasco over the baseline.
Again, Johansson's really long, 6'3", but those arms seem to go for days. So that was a great job by her, staying straight up, getting a good piece of the basketball.
Bays off the inbound, air ball, Lemon. Lancers have a chance to take their first lead. The long pass is too long for Olsen, and the Broncos get it on the turnover, the 19th turnover against CBU.
You know, the Broncos they almost got burned there, jogging the channel. That's what we call it when, they just sort of run down the middle. But Lemon did a great job seeing Olsen, and even though there were a couple of Broncos back on defense, I mean, that could have been a good opportunity if the pass just had a little bit less on it.
Maya Hanson with the big jumper. She's got the Bronco lead back up to 3 with that 2 points. She's got 4 in the game.
That was a badly needed bucket for the Broncos. And Hanson is so good in the mid-range. Really good job getting her feet, collecting, and getting a good finish.
7 minutes left in this one. Barros working on Hutton. drive, scores off the window.
Nice play by Veros. And, you know, sometimes players, you talk about how the game just slows down for them. You can tell that she's got that savvy out there on the guard position, and she's not afraid to take her time and get a good finish.
Thompson tries to feed it in the low post, but it's broken up by Johansson. And now here come the Lancers. Their opportunity to take the lead. We've had 5 lead changes so far today. Those all in the early going.
Again, that was a good look by Tatum. Just underestimated the length of Johansson.
Long rebound to Pasco. Thompson with a double-double, 14 points, 10 rebounds for the Broncos. Libby Hutton blocked and taken away by Johansson. Outlet pass to Lemon. Lemon guarded there by Maya Hansen. Out to Olsen. 6 minutes to go. The Bronco lead is 1. The Lancers down low. Johansson missed the tough shot, and Danny Bays comes out with the ball for Boise State. Bays all the way off the window and scores.
Great job by Danny. Johansson was trailing the play after not getting her finish on the other end. And even though Broncos didn't have numbers, Danny with some savvy there attacking the rim.
3-point lead for Boise State. Barrows backs down low. Gets it out to Lemon. Catch, fire. Missed. Thompson with her 11th rebound, but lost it. Barrows comes away with it for CBU.
Thompson had that rebound secured, and I think just underestimated who was nearby her. Wasn't able to pull it down completely.
Olsen drives on Hutton and scores.
Tough basket by Olsen. Again, such an important scorer for this team, so she's playing some big minutes and coming up with some important plays.
Pasco, short jumper, curls in. Nice two-man game with Maya Hansen, who gets the assist. Back and forth they go. Barrows picks up her dribble. Here, this is Hess. Out to Olsen. Open for 3. Count it for Johansson. She finally hits the triple, and we have our first tie of the game.
Again, not known for her three-point shooting prowess, but
Gordy Bresnell takes the timeout for Boise State as Emma Johansson now with 13 points. She hits the long 3. We are tied at 68. 4:26 to go here in Boise. Emma Johansson from California Baptist, 9 points here in the second half, and she has led the resurgence both offensively and defensively.
Johansson actually played some professional basketball, not as a professional herself, but with BSU women's basketball alum Ashanti Coleman. She was in the class of 2020 when they were in Sweden.
Well, that experience has paid off as her three-pointer is tied it at 68 as the Broncos set up a play out of the timeout. Hutton, hands behind her to Pasco. Her quick fire is short. The rebound is picked up by Boise State's Maya Hansen. She's left alone in the lane and hits the 8-footer.
Great job, Maya. She was looking to kick it to somebody, always thinking unselfishly, looking for another assist, and thought, hey, everybody left me alone. I'm going to go ahead and take these two myself.
Johansson drives on Hutton. Should have been called for the offensive foul. Cleared out with her right arm. They didn't call it. And Tatum Thompson weaves into the forecourt for Boise State. Veteran move by the international from Sweden. Kick it down low to Hutton, and she is fouled on the block by Barrows. And that is 3 fouls on Felipa Barrows.
That's a great cut by Hutton. I think Danny does such a great job of finding her teammates when they're cutting like that, both with Tatum and Libby. But good job, good read, way to keep her feet.
2 team fouls apiece, and they're going to call the 5-second count on Boise State. CBU overplayed the pass, nobody to throw it to, and Hansen turns it over. Broncos' 20th turnover of the game.
I think that was a legit 5 seconds on that one. You know, sometimes they are frustrated because the ball is released Hansen's hands, but it hadn't come in yet completely, so that's why the 5 count was called.
Pasco pokes that one out of bounds. 15 on the shot clock. 3:23 to go in the game. And an offensive foul called against CBU. as they are going to get Lauren Olson, and that will be her fifth personal foul. And Olson fouls out with 13 points on 6 of 10 shooting, and she picked up her 5th foul on an offensive foul.
She's just trying to get her teammate open with that ball screen situation, or the way screen on the baseline out of bounds. Just got to stay stationary there. You can't move to adjust for that defender.
She is replaced in the lineup by Chance Bucher, the 5'7" grad student. Father played soccer at Dartmouth. So an athletic family, it's in the genes. This is Danny Bays, spots for 3, front rim only. Kept it alive, Tatum Thompson. Hansen left alone. She doesn't shoot it.
We got a fresh shot clock on that one, so I think Hansen wisely waited and hopefully going to get a better look.
Thompson guns it down low to Hutton. Tough catch in traffic, and she is fouled by Johansson, and that'll be 4 on Emma Johansson. Watching Libby Hutton, sort of in a position that we saw with Elodie Lalott for her few years. She gets the ball in good spots, but just doesn't have the finish yet.
I think as Libby continues to add strength, maybe starts to add in the dimension of a little jump hook, I think she's going to be able to score against some of these longer defenders. But right now, she seems a little bit, her go-to move is just sort of a turnaround jump shot. And again, when you're playing against somebody, a veteran like Johansson, that's going to be hard to get that finish.
She hits both free throws. The sophomore from Perth, Australia, now has 5 points. 6 points rather, and the Bronco lead is 4. So that one will stay with CBU on the near side.
Thompson, that would have been a huge steal for the Broncos. But again, just a real important defensive possession for them to get a stop here.
Barrow underneath, the ball knocked free and stolen by Boise State. It's taken away by the Broncos' Danny Bays, and now the Broncos will look to milk a little clock, leading by 4 with 2:23 to go, and then they turn it over on the bad pass on the baseline.
I think they missed your memo about milking that little clock. You know, Danny just picked up another steal. She's just in the right place at the right time. She comes into the game averaging 2.8 steals, number 3 in the Mountain West, and good stop by the Broncos there. That was a good look there for Barros.
Thompson with the rebound of the Barros miss. She's got 12 rebounds on the game. And now the Broncos with 2 minutes to go. Let's see if they can milk some clock. Instead, Maya Hansen, that drops out. No good. Ball knocked free. Danny Bays takes it away. For Boise State, they will reset the shot clock.
Again, Danny Bays, total warrior. Love to see that out of your senior. Way to gut through and just contain that possession.
Underneath the left side, Tatum Thompson. She's got 14, and CBU takes the timeout as the Broncos now lead 74-68. We watch it again. Thompson, that's her sweet spot on the baseline.
Turnaround jump shot. She is so consistent with those. And again, Tatum has that athleticism. She's able to elevate over a lot of other defenders, hold there for a second, and concentrate on that finish. Not a lot of kids can do that.
You look at the Broncos' big 4, the seniors who start, and it's Danny Bays as 19 to lead the way, Tatum Thompson 16, Natalie Pasco 14, Maya Hansen 6, but add 5 assists and a couple of steals to that as well. So they are certainly leading the way for Boise State. On the other side, for California Baptist, 23 for Chloe Lemon, a season high. Johansson and Olson with 13 apiece, but Olson fouled out a few moments ago.
This has been a rough road trip for Olson. Didn't play a ton of minutes against Pepperdine. Not sure she wasn't feeling her best, but then fouling out here. Again, CBU really needed more from her, I think, today.
Barros gets too far under the basket and steps on the baseline for the turnover.
Big turnover by CBU, and now they're going to come up with some full pressure. Again, there's a minute and a half left in the game, but with a team that shoots as many threes as CBU does, they're definitely not out of it. So the Broncos really need to take care of the basketball. Ooh. And that's 5 on Johansson. Danny paid for that one, though.
That is 5 on the big Swede, 6'3", Emma Johansson, who fouls out with 13 points, 10 rebounds, and 6 blocks. And now you see why Boise State's Danny Bays has that protective sleeve on her right elbow and right arm.
Danny may have gotten a full back adjustment on that one, and without wanting it, we'll say that much.
So now our officials are going to the monitor. So we watch this one again. I guess, are they looking to see if it's a flagrant? I'm not sure. It didn't appear to be from
I think that's just a player making a play on the ball and being about a half a second too late. And she knows it. I don't think that was anything malicious on Johansson's part.
Johansson played 34 minutes today and really was a big factor in that 12-2 run by CBU to close the third quarter, blocking shots and getting buckets down low. 9 points in that third quarter and early fourth quarter, but now with 1:28 to go, she has been disqualified with her 5th foul, and now the coaches getting a chance to talk to their teams as we look to see what the verdict is. Abilene Christian leading East Texas 31-18 in WAC play. Utah Valley leading Air Force out of the Mountain West 15-12 after 1. And Utah Tech in New Mexico, it's Utah Tech leading 12-8. And we'll look at other scores in the Mountain West Conference today. Besides this one, Rice is having no trouble with UNLV 60-35 as we look at that one again. Danny Bays takes the hard shot from Johansson. And now we will hope that the officials will come over and tell us what the verdict is.
It doesn't appear that anything is going to be more than a common foul. It looks like they're just setting up for free throws.
I talked with one of the officials before the game. She promised that they would come over and tell us what's going on. And it is a common foul against Johansson, and that is her 5th. That'll send Danny Bays to the free throw line. Again, 19 points today for Danny. She is a 76% free throw shooter and is a perfect 8 of 8 from the line today, which all in all means I gave her the announcer's jinx, and she'll probably not hit them both.
You're going to owe her a lollipop if she doesn't make both of these.
Don't forget the Broncos next in action Wednesday in Salt Lake City against the Utah Utes. And then they return home to take on Southern Utah on December 13th, a week from today, before they open conference play in a tough 2-game road trip at New Mexico and at San Diego State to open conference play before a 2 o'clock New Year's Eve day game against Nevada. And then January 3rd, our first look at the Lopes of Grand Canyon University, new to the Mountain West this year. 1 of 2 only.
That's on you. That's on you,
me.
Mark.
I owe her an apology. Danny Bays, 1 of 2. She's got 20, and the Bronco lead is 7.
I do think 9 out of 10 is a pretty darn good free throw percentage.
Right. Lemon drives, doesn't get it to drop. Hutton with the board. And now with 1:08 to go, Boise State wants to take care of the basketball and wrap up the win, which, if it holds...
It's a strange off-ball foul. I mean, right now CBU needs to foul if they want to have any chance at getting back into this game, but it's odd that they were not pressing initially and getting that foul in the backcourt. Instead, just somebody decided to bop Tatum in the face, I think.
Lemon called for the foul. Tatum Thompson to the line. Boise State has won 20 straight non-conference games here at home, tying for the second longest active streak in the nation for teams outside of the power conferences. As Thompson comes up short with her first free throw. 16 points, 13 rebounds, 4 assists, and a blocked shot for Tatum Thompson. The senior from Woodinville, Washington, splits the pair. Now with 1 minute to go, the Broncos lead 76-68. Barros outside Bucher, catch fire, hit.
Tough shot by Bucher. That was no space given in terms of the defensive effort by the Broncos. But smart job by Danny Bays not making that a 4-point play and making sure that she didn't foul her on the shot.
Legaspi has just fouled out with her 5th foul as she wrapped up.
That's a good effort by Legaspi. Again, coming home to the hometown crowd. I know it's only 5 on the scoreboard for her, but getting the start and also just performing well. I mean, she was plagued by foul trouble, similar to a couple of her teammates. But, you know, a good effort by her getting back at it.
Maya Hansen to the free throw line. Rolls the first one in. 12 points, her season high against UC Davis. That was her 6th point, and she splits a pair for the 92% free throw shooter.
Again, this is on you, Mark. I think
I didn't say anything though about that one.
Bank shot.
Banked in for Bucher. She's hit back-to-back threes, and then the foul in the backcourt. Bucher now with 9 points. It's a 3-point game with 34.7 to go, and this is why coaches stress hit your free throws. We watch this one again. Bucher called glass and got it.
Bucher was off balance on that one as well. You know, and Bucher, she started for CBU, but has only played 16 minutes on the game. So I know she's been plagued by foul trouble as well. But, boy, with her hitting the last 2 possessions, I think Coach might be reconsidering her playing minutes tonight.
The substitution pattern is Hansen hits the first to make it a 4-point game and a 2-possession game. 1 of 2 is the Broncos down the stretch, not able to convert. Outside Bucher, that spins off, and the rebound comes out. Lemon, her 3 ball is good. And it's a 1-point game and a timeout. CBU, the Broncos' inability, Kim, to close this out from the line, and CBU hitting 3 straight 3-pointers. We've got a 1-point game under 25 seconds to go.
You know, I'm not sure on a free throw how we're allowed to get an up pass to Bucher and such a wide open look. She was down there by herself. And then the kick out, you know, poor box out by the Broncos, and then Lemon, who hasn't made a bucket in a little bit, but has another wide open look. So, you know, it's a 1-point game. Right now, they're going to continue to ratchet up the defense, and Broncos can't just take 1 of 2 when they get to the foul line.
Lemon with a season high 26. She's a 9 of 18 from the field, 5 of 11 from 3-point range, 3 of 4 from the line. She and Bucher each playing with 4 personal fouls. So the strategy now, if you're Gordy Presnell, what do you draw up? The shot clock is off. You can hold for the final possession pending fouls.
You know, that's not going to happen. I mean, right now, I'm pretty sure Coach Olson was the one that called the timeout.
Yes.
Coach Presnell wanted to call the timeout because he wanted to advance the ball. That's one thing that Coach Presnell always does, is he saves a couple of those timeouts in his pocket. Something I always wish we had in the high school game, and you could advance the ball. So because it was Olson's timeout, so now Coach Presnell just called the timeout so that he can then advance the ball and get the ball on the sideline instead of having to come to full court. You know, right now, CBU is going to foul. It's just a matter of who they're going to foul. So they're going to be subbing some kids in, offense and defensive, because they want to make sure those couple that have 4 fouls, Bucher and Lemon, who have hit the last 3 shots, they want to make sure that they're in the end of the game, and especially when they have the offensive opportunity.
There you see Chloe Lemon and her big day today. The Broncos 6 of 10 from the line here in the 4th quarter.
Again, Chloe Lemon, not a starter for them, has only started 3 of their games. She might be a starter for the next game.
Yeah, I think so. So because Gordy Presnell took his timeout, as you had outlined, Danny Bays will inbound in the 4th court for the Broncos. Need to get it in cleanly, and they do. And then there's the foul quickly. Nordstrom wraps up Hansen, and Maya will go back to the free throw line, where today she is 4 of 6 from the stripe. Normally a 92% free throw shooter.
Again, I know Maya has missed a couple shots from the foul line this game, but she is who you want that ball in her hands. And Broncos wisely put Natalie Pasco in the back here with Bucher, so that after this possession is over at the free throw line, that we already have somebody down the floor.
So now if you're Boise State, if she hits this free throw, you have a 3-point lead. Do you foul right away and force them to the Broncos are not over the limit, just 2 team fouls. You want to run them off the 3-point line, though, as we set up the final 20
you
seconds.
do have fouls to give, but you definitely don't want to foul a jump shooter, and especially not a three-point jump shooter. So, again,
Nordstrom missed the three. The rebound loose, and they're going to call the over-the-back foul on CBU. Following the shot, I'm not sure who the foul was called against. I think it's Bucher, and that's her fifth.
And CBU, that was a good effort. That was a good look by Nordstrom. Natalie got the inside advantage, and so now you see Bucher having to sit down with 5.
Third Lancer to foul out this afternoon. And now for Boise State, looking to salt this one away, Natalie Pasco has not attempted a free throw yet today. And that one is off the mark. An 84% free throw shooter. This one, though, to make it a 4-point lead in a 2-possession game is critical. And CBU is out of timeout, so they have to go the entire length of the floor with 8 seconds.
As long as the Broncos don't foul here, then it's a really good opportunity. Let that one go. That's fine.
Nordstrom buries the 3 with 2.1 seconds to go, and Gordy Presnell takes his penultimate timeout. And the Broncos will advance to the fourth court with 2.1 seconds to go. And they did give up the 3 as a wide open Nordstrom in the corner. Her first bucket of the game.
You can see Tatum Thompson with her hands on her head. She overhelped on that one. You had Barros who had the ball in her hands, and I think she overhelped trying to just sort of naturally stop a layup, but unfortunately did leave that open shooter in the corner. With the advancement of the ball to half court here, Broncos work on these plays all the time. So they have a bunch of different sets that they will run out of the same look, and hopefully be able to get that ball ideally into Maya Hansen's hands. That's who I'd want to put the ball in. Or if it comes to her quickly, Danny Bay's coming stepping on and right back to Danny.
So here's the situation. Boise State, 1 timeout left. CBU, no timeouts. The Broncos are in the bonus, and they lead by 1. Bay's the trigger. Gets it into Thompson. She is hugged and fouled. Take your pick. Lemon was there, and I think they're going to get Lemon from behind with the foul. That took 0.7 of a second off the clock. And that's 5 now on Lemon. So she's the 4th Lancer to foul out today. And it's been a long time since I've seen that happen. 4 players getting disqualified. Personal fouls 31 to 12. 31 by CBU, 12 by Boise State. And quite frankly, it has not been a poorly officiated game.
No.
So the disparity is not an issue. Now, Gordy Presnell wants his team wants the officials to break up the CBU huddle. You get 45 seconds to make that substitution after a player fouls out. And Gordy was running the mental clock and said that's been more than 45 seconds. I'm
pretty sure Coach Olson got at least 5 to 8 seconds more on that. He's out of timeouts. He was doing anything he can to try to set up something once this ball transpires to the other side. Big finish by Tatum right there. Again, the Broncos aren't out of the woods yet. Making this 3 would sure help. And again, probably showing a little bit of light pressure in the backcourt just so they can't roll the ball.
Thompson with 18. And it rolls off. That's probably better for Boise State as Barros doesn't even get the shot off in time. And the Broncos survive with an 82-80 win over CBU. And Boise State wins their 21st non-conference game here at ExtraMile Arena. And boy, it was not easy, but a good non-conference test for this Boise State team.
CBU is a good squad, and again, Coach Olson does a great job with his program. So this is a quality win for the Broncos. Prior to their loss against Pepperdine, CBU was ranked 100 in the net. So this was a quality win for the Broncos, and again, just finding ways to win at the end of the game, even when sometimes there's some adversity, a couple shots don't go your way. Excellent job by Boise State to seal the victory.
Broncos win by 2. They improve to 8-1 on the season. And we're back with post-game activities after we take this timeout. Boise State with the 82-80 win over California Baptist. The Broncos now 8-1 on the season and their 21st straight non-conference win here at ExtraMile Arena. We're joined by one of the seniors for Boise State, Tatum Thompson, 18 points, 13 rebounds, and you guys made it interesting down the stretch, didn't you?
Yeah, we need to get those free throws locked in, but I think it was great competition, lots of things to learn, but glad we got the win.
Tatum, in Paradise Jam, you guys had another close surge by Tulane, and watching part of this game and the end of the game, was some of that coming back in your brain thinking, okay, this happened to us before, but we were victorious. So how did you guys find the way to win today?
Yeah, I think we just need to get our communication back up, and we keep having these little close games, but different than last year is we're pulling them out and winning them. So I think that's some growth.
Absolutely.
This was a game of runs. Boise State had a 10-0 run in that second quarter. CBU came back with some long runs and caught you in the third quarter and made things interesting. What's the thought process when a team starts to make a run on you? Does that make you change your game, or do you do anything differently to try to end that run?
I try to stay even pace, try not to let their changes change me. And so that way we can keep our pace and not get all rattled. And I think just staying consistent with our pace is what keeps us getting these ending wins.
And Tatum, I have to ask, you have some of the most impressive finishes. Today there were at least two that you hung in the air, got contact from all sides. Is it more fun to finish through contact? Be honest, be honest.
Oh, yeah. I like see him in the corner of my eye, and I like slowly jump and wait for the contact and then try and put it up.
And then you like that and one, right? All right.
Well, Boise State with the win. You now head down to Salt Lake City to take on the Utes. This was a good challenge today. That's going to be a real big challenge on Wednesday, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. I think that would be a great game to see how we can do playing against that bigger league. So I think it'll be fun for sure.
Well, Tatum Thompson, 18 points, 13 rebounds, another double-double as Boise State wins 82-80. Nice job. We'll see you here in a couple next Saturday when you guys take on Utah Tech.
Thank you.
Great job, Tatum.
Tatum Thompson, one of four Broncos in double figures today, 18 and 13. Danny Bays led the way with 20 points and 6 rebounds. Natalie Pasco, 15 points. And our next guest, also in double figures today, as Maya Hansen joins us here. And Maya with another strong effort today, 10 points, 5 assists for the Mountain West leader in assists. And as we started out the conversation with Tatum, this was not a walk in the park, was it?
No, not quite. We just wanted to make it interesting, I guess.
What is it about competition like CBU that makes this a good game for Boise State heading into conference?
Yeah, I mean, they don't give up. Props to them. They're a very aggressive team. They want to be the aggressor when they play, and obviously they can knock down some shots. So it's a great team to play because, they're never going to give up.
And Maya, you were hampered by some foul trouble. I think I'd like to see a couple more replays, different angles of those 2 charge calls that didn't go in your favor. But let's be honest, some other kids had to come in and step up. But when you were able to come back in the second half, made your mark with the assists, how do you see some of your teammates as they're cutting like that or finding those open shooters? I mean, getting 5 today, which is your average, that was just tremendous.
Yeah, well, obviously I've been playing with them for a while, especially us 4 seniors being on this court. So just being able to read them, and I know that's my role for this team right now. We have exceptional shooters, so I put my full trust in them when I get them the ball. So why not get them the ball, because I know they can make it.
Spoken like a true point guard.
And I'm told I owe you an apology because I think I gave you the announcer's jinx in that fourth quarter from the free throw line.
Just so you know.
But this is a game that in the last couple of years Boise State may not have pulled out. What was it that this senior-laden team was able to do? You're pressured, they're hitting threes, but Boise State managed to pull out the win.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, I think we were just confident in ourselves. Obviously, it was a tight game, but I had no worry. I had all faith in my team, and I know we can pull it out at any moment because we've been in those situations, and we know what it feels like to come out on the short end of the stick in those situations, so we don't want to feel like that ever again.
And then heading down to Utah this week, thoughts about that game?
Yeah, it'll be a really good game. Obviously, they're a great team, so I feel like it's going to be a good competition for us and us to prove what we can do.
Well, Maya Hansen, one of 4 Broncos in double figures, 10 points, 5 assists. as Boise State wins 82-80. Good luck down in Salt Lake City. We'll see you next Saturday here at ExtraMile Arena.
Thank you.
Great job,
Boise
Maya.
State with the win by 2 against a very tough CBU Lancer team. We look at the final numbers, and boy, they do show that this was a close contest. A few too many turnovers if you're either coach. 21 by Boise State, 22 by CBU. And you look at the final box, Kim, what numbers, as we look at this, jump out to you besides the turnovers?
Well, I mean, the Broncos actually cleaned things up a little bit. You know, they were very lackadaisical with the ball in the first half. They had 12 of those turnovers in the first half. So that was a little bit of an improved number. I know that free throws, end-of-game free throws especially, we got to find ways in practice to implement that type of pressure. But, you know, those seniors, they're going to come up and they're going to finish the game when it counts most.
Bench points favored CBU 33-13, but a large measure behind that was Chloe Lemon's 26 off the bench, as she had a season high today. Points in the paint, Boise State, despite the size disadvantage, kept it close, 34-26 for CBU. 9 blocked shots, though, by CBU, and that certainly led to their rally in the second half. And points off turnovers, Boise State 19, CBU 15. But all in all, Kim, an entertaining game and a good way for Boise State to get ready for what will be a very tough conference schedule by taking on a WAC team that's picked near the top of their conference.
Absolutely, and scoring 82 points, I mean, that's great. That is great experience, and you want to play against good teams in the preseason. So this is another important win that the Broncos were able to notch in their season, and great momentum for them between winning the Paradise Jam and also winning this game, heading down to Salt Lake City this week.
So Boise State improves to 8-1. They will hit the road to Utah on Wednesday before returning here to the friendly confines of ExtraMile Arena, where they will take on the Utah Tech team next Saturday. We're on the air with you on the Mountain West Network. Thanks to everybody involved in bringing you the pictures and sounds of this game. I want to thank my outstanding broadcast partner, Kim Bridges, as Boise State improves now to 8-1, their 21st straight non-conference win here at ExtraMile Arena. 82-80 Boise State. For everybody involved, Mark Snyder, thanking you for joining us this afternoon, and we hope you have a pleasant weekend from ExtraMile Arena at Boise State in Boise, Idaho.